If AI has become your student's favorite shortcut to learning, you're in the right place. Let's learn how to build a custom GPT that allows us to flip that script and turn AI back into a tool for learning. I'll show you how to create that AI agent in this video. In order to create that AI agent, you do need access to ChatGPT, and sadly, you do need a Plus, Business, or Pro account to create an agent that you can then share and distribute to your students who can then access it with a free account. I'd like to thank the Kern Family Foundation, which both inspired and sponsored my research in this project through Keen Engineering Unleashed. Let's discuss the student experience with the CustomGPT. It all starts by providing your students a link. That link is provided for you by ChatGPT after you create your CustomGPT. The students then click on that link, or you can give them a bit shortener to make it even easier for them to access. Once they do that, they'll be prompted to either use their own ChatGPT account or create a new ChatGPT account. Students can access a CustomGPT even without having a paid version of ChatGPT. Once they have an account and your link, they can start the challenge that you've created for them. I like to start the challenges with simple questions. However, you can skip the questions and go right into a challenge. For example, I like to ask 3 questions related to the final problem to get them warmed up and to get them thinking about the problem space. In this example, they're given some problems and then they're given some individual feedback. If they get the problem correct, they're encouraged. If they get the problem wrong, they're prompted. What's so wonderful about custom GPTs is if you ask it to stay in the role of a tutor and not provide the students the answer, it will do so and it won't hand them the answer. After the students are asked a number of questions in my custom GPTs, I then have the custom GPT provide them a code snippet with some bugs in it that they have to copy and paste into their favorite IDE and then fix. Once they find the bugs and fix the problems in the code provided to them, which is also related to the questions they were asked earlier, they then copy and paste those back into the custom GPT text box. When they do that, if they're wrong, it will help them understand what they got wrong and give them suggestions for improvements without giving them the answer. Once they have everything perfect, they're provided a link to a lab report. In my case, I give them a PowerPoint that I want them to take screen captures of their successful work and successful code, and then reflect on that and submit that to me as proof of work. In order to create your agent, you have to be in ChatGPT either Plus, Business, or Pro. I'm in a business account, and I'm going to show you how to build that agent from scratch. Let's start by looking at the side panel where it says GPTs. Now, if you can't see that side panel, if you can't see that GPTs or that side panel, feel free to open that sidebar and feel free to change the greater than sign to a down arrow. Then the first option you will see is Explore. So let's explore the GPTs. So these are GPTs created by other people. I can see my GPTs, and eventually you'll have a list of GPTs that you've created. But here's the magic button to get the process started, the plus create. When I click on that, I am ready to configure my custom GPT. I'm going to fill out some things and then come back and explain them so you don't have to watch me type. Let's look at some of the important information you should fill out when creating a custom GPT. The first area I urge you to fill out is the name. The name is going to be seen by other users as well as be in a bold, kind of a headline in your custom GPT when the students activate it. There also is a description, which is smaller, but gives you a chance to explain in summary what your GPT is going to do. And that appears right underneath the title. Then I really like this step, and so do my students. Other AI agents like Copilot and Gems don't have this conversation starters, which are just really useful. Just a simple click here to start. Sometimes students don't know how to get the thing started, and this click here to start button will help them get that agent started without having to do anything extra. There also is a really cool feature to upload some kind of image or icon to best represent your custom GPT. Then on the bottom, there's some other important features. I suggest you power down and try your GPT with a lower model, especially if your students are going to be using your ChatGPT or your custom ChatGPT with a free account. The lower or older models use tokens slower and give them a chance to get more activities complete before they run out of their free time. Also, you probably won't need web search. Canvas is like the word processing feature of ChatGPT. They probably won't need that, and you probably won't need any image generation. Most of you probably won't need code generation either, or code interpreting. I tend to need it when I'm making, for example, a Python activity where it actually runs their Python code. I do have to click that on, and it does use more resources when it runs their Python code. Then the most important part, the key to this entire process, are those instructions. Those instructions are the super prompt that guides how the AI will work. And this is where you spend 90% of your development time when creating a custom GPT. They also give you these handy arrows pointing away from each other, which allows you to go to a larger screen mode. Now, I've designed a prompt already just to fit in this to get us started. And I want to just point out some features of a good prompt, not only in custom GPT, but just solid prompt engineering. And if you want to learn more about prompt engineering, there are tons of resources on the internet. It is an extremely useful skill to develop, especially if you're interested in leveraging the power of AI. The first important thing that you can do for an AI agent, and anytime you're using AI, is explain its role. I can't tell you how many times I enter as a college professor, explain as an instructor, explain as a tutor, whatever role you're expecting ChatGPT to play or you're playing at the moment when you're completing the task. That is important to let ChatGPT or any AI agent know its role. Then I'm going to tell it in a narrative format what I want it to do. So I want it to welcome the student and then ask a question. Where do you place detailed step-by-step instructions for a custom GPT? Well, kind of weird that I have the word instructions in the question contains the answer, but you'll get the point. Question 2, what are some ways you can improve the instructions prompt? And then I have trying it in preview mode, which we're going to try in just a second, checking out other people's agents and learning about prompt engineering. So I'm going to see how this agent performs. I'm going to close this. And then what's really cool and really powerful is you can try it right away in this other preview window. Now, I'm going to turn down the model just because I want to see how it behaves with an older model, which is going to allow the students to use my GPT longer, and they'll be able to use their tokens slower and be able to do more interacting with it with a free account. So I'm going to click here to start. And let's see how this agent performs. Welcome, you're ready to start learning. Create your own custom GPT. Great choice. Let's begin with question 1. Where do you place the detailed step-by instructions for a custom GPT? Take a moment to think about where your guiding instructions belong when setting up a custom GPT. What do you think? I think you're giving me too much hint. I don't like that second prompt, but I'm just going to test it first to see if it works when I'm doing things correct. And it does work. Let's move to question 2. What are some ways you can improve the think about how better that? Yeah, I really don't like those hints. So the key to developing these awesome AI agents is to try them, iterate, and improve. Classic computer science, classic job that is done when you're doing any engineering is you keep iterating until you get the product or the output you expect. So here, I don't like that it's giving me any hints. So I'm just going to tell it, please don't provide any hints the first time you ask any question, just ask the question and wait for an answer. All right, let's try it now. I'm going to redo it. See, I can redo the preview with the new information. I'm just going to click on that preview redo. I'm going to hit the start button here and click here to start. Welcome, let's get started. Where do you place the detailed step-by-step instructions for CustomGPT? Take your time. What do you think? I am going to say instructions. I'm going to do it right. And then I'm going to see if that persists. Oh, it did. It didn't give me a hint. It just said list as many as you can. I'm going to say try it. You're on the right track. Try it. Can you think of some specific ways you might try it? It's prompting me to improve my answer. Preview mode. I'm going to add try it in preview mode. Try it in preview mode. Exactly. Can you think of any other methods? No. No worries, let me guide you a bit. Think about how people learn from new skills. What would be some ways that you could look, or what could someone look at or study to get? I'm getting bogged down in this, so I'm going to just tell it that I'm going to change the prompt. Allow the user to provide just one answer, then give them the rest with an explanation. All right. So by trying the GPT, I realized something else I can improve. So I'm going to refresh it. I'm going to click here to start, and then boom, off I go. And remember, let's start with question one. Remember, this is the first time I'm only asking the questions, no hints yet. I don't like that. So I'm going to re-engineer that to say, please don't provide any offenses. Also, don't tell the user you are not providing hints. All right, let's try it again. All right, click here to start. IDK. No worries, that's what you're learning. And then the correct answer is instructions. Do I want it to give me the answer right away? Maybe not. Maybe I want it to, if they don't have the correct answer, give them hints without giving them the answer. If they struggle twice, then provide them the answer, but make sure they type it in so they learn. Boom. All right, let's try that now. I'm going to review it. Click here to start. IDK. Let's see if it gives me a hint without IDK. It waited. That helps lock it into memory. Oh. Then ask the question again. Re-ask the question. All right, there we go. Let's see how it does now. All right, I'm going to refresh it. I'm going to click here to start. IDK. Perfect. So what I hope you observed is how I just kept going back and forth with my instructions and improving my prompt until I got the output to behave like I wanted it to. Now here's the next and critical step. Once I've developed my GPT, my custom GPT at the level I want, I then click on Create. After clicking on Create, I now have the option to share it as a link. But I'm going to share it with anyone in the public with the link. Any student can use any of their ChatGPT accounts, whether it's a school account, a Gmail account. And so I'm going to, anyone with the link can have it. And then I'm going to take that link and I am going to update. And then that link is eventually going to be available for me. It's doing its thing here. And then I can copy this link. And now that link is what I would share or could put into a bit shortener. I could put it into a lesson. That link will then link the students to the activity that will look like this. When they click on the link, it would look like this. And notice I didn't give it a graphic. I could improve all of this. I click here to start, and I am seeing the custom GPT I developed in 4.0. Thanks so much for watching this video and joining me on this journey to create a custom GPT. I hope you are able to make amazing experiences for your students.